We're joined by Sergei Utkin from the Institute of World Economy and International Relations here in Moscow. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. So what do you make of this statement? Is there some truth in it, or do you think MI6 is really trying to pass the buck?
Well, I can imagine that Russia really was not that cooperative on Iraq before the war. I can imagine that Russian officials had some financial interests in Iraq, something related to Russian commercial companies, something of that kind. But that is just as other countries behave in this situation. One cannot say that they had to have everyone on board, otherwise they would start the war. That is just not a normal logic, and I think that in this situation Russia just behaved as every country would behave in this world.
Bearing in mind quite a lot of time has passed since the end of the Iraq war, why do you think this is coming to light now? Why do you think the British authorities are now pointing the finger towards Russia?
I don't think they really point finger towards Russia. They just put it as a tiny pixel in the big picture of how the Iraqi war started. And I think that for British public and for international community, that's not really important how Russia behaved before. It's much more important how the situation in Iraq developed. In this regard, people are very interested in whether it was right or wrong to put out of power all members of Saddam Hussein's party, live in Iraq without people who had some professional experience. And people are also interested in how to go beyond the situation that we have today. And in this regard, this case of Russia is just a small piece of history, no more.
What about the timing, though, when we have a British government facing an election coming up quite soon? Public opinion does suggest there's a backlash against this decision to be involved in that war. Do you think they're literally trying to find a scapegoat in some ways?
I don't think they may find a scapegoat, because they have showed that they support Iraqi war for so many times that they just have to take responsibility for that. They have no other option, they have no other way to escape that. They only can prove that the decision was right, and the whole inquiry will go this way. They will just insist that the decision was right.
Just finally, I want to ask you, though, bearing in mind that relations between Russia and Britain seem to be improving a little in the light of David Miliband, the Foreign Secretary, visiting Moscow not long ago and shaking hands. Do you think this could affect relations at all between the countries?
That's just the right phrase, shaking hands. There was no real improvement, and this visit was really a vacuum without any substance. And I don't think we can hope for any improvement in British-Russia relations before the change of administration. After the elections, we can at least hope that some improvement will take place, but
if
not before that.
If there is a change in government, and we get a Conservative government in the UK. So you think that really does depend on the change in government?
That does depend on the change of government.
Well, it's very interesting to hear what you have to say, Sergei. As always, good to see you here on RT. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Thank you.